I think that's enough said. But the truth of the matter is, y'all, we have a very critical decision that we have to make as Americans in the next couple of years. And the spear point of that critical decision, the people who are going to make the biggest difference, for good or ill, are people who are pro-life and who are deeply committed to restoring the moral premise of American life. The thing that has kept me going in the pro-life movement for so long, even though they're very capable people who are battling in the pro-life cause and who have done many wonderful things that I'm totally incapable of and just deeply admire. The people who found the crisis pregnancy centers and who keep the movements going, that are lobbying for different kinds of legislation that move forward, that will protect life and so forth. All I can do is just add my 2 cents every now and again. And that 2 cents, though, does want to make just one simple point. We should not believe that we battle only for the life of the innocent child. We should not believe that we battle only for the soul of the mother who must decide whether to accept that gift of life. We battle for the very life of our country. The crisis we now are in the midst of is the direct result of allowing the abandonment of the fundamental truth that government power cannot be stoked because it will do us some good, to the point where it violates the unalienable rights that have been given to us by God. Amen. When we allow that violation, we destroy the premise of our constitutional republic, and we are moving toward and now arriving at the point where it must be destroyed as a result. Because people will come forward and say, well, this government, limitations and all that, that's no good. That's what Barack Obama's saying. We need a government that can do everything we want it to do for us. Unless we can stand up and say, I'm sorry, the only reason we, the people, get to say anything about what that government does is because that government is constrained to respect our unalienable rights, and therefore whatever powers it has must be used in a way that are limited by respect for our individual rights and our responsibility to God for our children and our families and our well-being and our health and all those things which at the end of the day must remain under our control, not the government's. Amen. Because we are responsible to God for our health. I think if we remember that, then we will be able to exercise the kind of choice that understands that as we look for the truly pro-life people running for office, we got to look for the ones who are standing on the godly principles the nation was founded on. Not the people who mouth some words and then say, I'll overturn Roe and give the choice to the state legislatures, or I'll overturn Roe, but I think that at the end of the day, it's the woman's prerogative. From Rudy Giuliani over to Mitt Romney and all these other mealy-mouthed people, they lie when they say they're pro-life, because they do not embrace the fundamental principle that at the end of the day requires 2 things. That you champion the Constitution of the United States grounded on the premise of limited government, and that you understand that ultimately the authority that limits that government is not the authority of the people. It is the authority of the God who made them. Amen. And that's why even the majority of the people, whether at the state level or the federal level, must be limited in their choice by respect for the will of the Creator, from whom they derive their unalienable rights. Abandon that respect, and for a moment we may seem more powerful. But then we will be cast from the position of power and become like all other peoples have been, merely the subjects of masters who may or may not decide to treat us gently for a while. But then we will no longer be Americans. Forget God, and we forget who we are. I will say simply, and with no further clarification, because I think in all fairness one has to let people speak for themselves, that I am here in Kentucky, because I'm looking around the country for people I am certain in my heart are standing on that ground of principle. And the only one I found running for the U.S. Senate in Kentucky was Bill Johnson. It's as simple as that. Thank you.